Yes, I will share the slides. Just one moment. Do you see the slides?
Not yet.
No.
I'll try again. Now you can see the slides, I think.
That's already much better. Yep. That's really great.
Yep.
Thanks for all showing up in such a large number. My name is Jeroen de Bon, working together with my colleague Martijntje Vollebrecht on our new initiative, Food2Food 2.0. This is more or less a continuation of a project we have just finished, and our objective of this meeting is to inform you on our ideas and to make sure that you have the very solid info on our project proposal. And of course, we would like to find out who would be interested in co-developing the project content with this for this project together with us. Thank you. So the agenda of today, first we would like to start with a word of welcome. Then we would like to have a short introduction for all the various people. If you can share your name, your company name, and within 2 slides, within 2 sentences, the reason why you are participating in this meeting, that would be great. So then we have an overview of all participants, and we have an idea about what you would like to obtain from this project. Subsequently, Martijntje will share information on the project, the objective, and the deliverables. Then I will show you around in the way of working with a public-private partnership on the consortium, the budget, the planning, and the terms and conditions. And we would like to finish this meeting with a round of feedback and questions. How to participate in this meeting? It would be appreciated if you would mute your mic, if you would put your questions in the chat, and this meeting will be recorded so we can share it afterwards for people that are not able to join this meeting at this very time. Please raise your hand if you have any, if you don't want to like this meeting to be recorded for privacy purposes. Anyone who has objections, please speak out now. Okay, thanks. I'll take that as a no. Martijntje? So very short no. First like to do the round of introduction for the various people. Mark, can you start? Or I think it is... Oh, let's do it in alphabetical order that show up on my screen. Annelien, can you start who you are, the company name, and 2 sentences in why you're interested to join this info session?
So hi, I'm Annelien Verbouwde. I'm working for Deutsche Mills as innovation engineer. I'm part of the R&D department. Deutsche Mills is a wheat milling company. We're based in Belgium and the Netherlands, and we mill around 1 million tons of wheat a year, which also makes that we have around 150,000 tons of side streams. So that is why we participate in this session.
Thanks, great potential from the side streams. Curious to find out if we can do anything useful with it in food application. Thanks for being here. Charlotte?
Yes, good morning. I just started as a project controller at Nice Company. Nice Company already worked together with de Stichting Samen tegen Voedselverspilling. And I'm mainly here to listen to your proposal and the information. So thank you.
Thanks. Great to see you here, and also great to see Karel, who will introduce himself further on.
Yes.
Dave?
Yep. Yeah, good morning. My name is Dave Young. I'm responsible for Research and Development Department at Aroma. Aroma is for origin an herbs and spice company, but we are creating innovative taste solutions for our customers and based on natural ingredients. So we are interested in the let's say the upcycled ingredients or to use this in one of our solutions.
Thanks. Great that an end user of possible ingredients that we manufacture is here as well. So looking forward to see if we can help each other. Thank you. Dries? Dries, would you be able to introduce yourself?
Yes, sorry, my microphone was off.
No
I'm
problem.
Dries Buspe. I work as a sustainability specialist at Zwanenberg Food Group. We want to incorporate residual streams into our products where possible, so we can reduce food waste in the supply chain, and we may have streams from which valuable ingredients / residues can be extracted.
Thanks. Great to have a party joining the session who can both play the supplier role and the end user role. Looking forward to our discussion. Thanks. Hans?
My name is Hans Kruijf. I'm working for Henry BV. We are partner of the Stichting Samen tegen Voedselverspilling, and I'd like to be informed about those projects and decide afterwards if we will participate.
Thanks. And I really liked the poster in your background. I hope you were able to complete it 6 times.
Yeah, I was responsible for the catering with 3 other people, but I had to change it. I'm sorry, I didn't do it.
It's also a challenging task. Thanks. Jip?
Yeah, I'm Jip Jordan. I'm part of Samen tegen Voedselverspilling. So it won't be in one of the companies, but kind of helping coordinate the information session and things around it.
Thanks for being present. That's also a really important. Looking forward to collaborate together. Karel?
Yeah, Karel van der Velde, business developer at Nijsse Company, currently on the road, so only listening in. From Nijsse perspective, interesting to learn if there would be any residual flows left that cannot be upcycled into food, and therefore might be of interest for processing it into feed.
Thanks being present again, Karel. Looking forward to meet you soon in person. Carola?
Hi, Carola Fischer, product developer at Aroma. Dave already explained why we are interested.
Thanks. Great to join multiple people of one company. Thanks. Marcel?
Marcel van Brugge, business manager van Rijsingen Fresh Services. I was invited by Hans de Kruijf from Henry because we do some projects together in using rests for products. So I'd like to be informed and later on together with Henry decide if it's interesting.
Thanks for being present. I guess Verrijsing is also a partner in the first project, correct?
I don't know, but I see someone answering yes in my screen.
Great. Koos?
Hi, Koos Oosterhuizen speaking. I'm responsible for the Food Application Center for Technology in Leeuwarden, one of the universities for applied sciences. I was invited through the Professor Lisette Oudhuis, who is a responsible professor at Hans Hogeschool en Van Holaarstein on food and health.
Thanks, Koos. Great to see an old colleague. Edric?
Okay.
Patrick, would you be able to unmute your mic?
Oh, yes, of course. My name is Patrick Lemmers, project leader Sustainable Development at the LLTB Limburgse Land- en Tuinbouwbond, and involved in several projects around the valorization of horticultural side streams and new crops, etc., etc. And invited by Martijntje because we were involved in a premier, not finally granted project, but possibly interested in this one.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining.
Yes.
Saskia?
Yes, hello, good morning. My name is Saskia van der Laan. I work at Food Waste Free United, or Samen tegen voedselverspilling. And I'm a program manager, business solutions. So I'm trying to get all the companies together. So maybe you saw some invitations from me. And looking forward to hear what you're going to do. But we know already a little bit. Good to be here.
Thanks for your help in the background. Really appreciating that. Jacques?
Yes, my name is Jacques Beerda. I'm working for LIOF, the Regional Development Agency for the province of Limburg. I'm working on a project dedicated on biocircular economy, and we're helping companies that are trying to upcycling waste streams.
Thank you very much. Really overlapping objective with this project, so curious to find out what we can do together. Walle?
Hi, I'm Walle. I'm working for Food Fellows, part of the Harvesters Corporation. By Harvesters, we have a big residual flow of tomatoes and bell peppers, and with Food Fellows, we looking for new solutions. So I'm here for some more information of the project.
Thanks. Please speak out if you would like to have any further information. Really appreciating your presence in this meeting. And finally, my colleague Martijntje Vollebrecht.
Yeah, Jeroen, thank you. Yeah, my name is Martijntje Vollebrecht, and I'm working as a researcher and project leader in Wageningen Food and Bio-based Research. And yeah, together with Jeroen and others, we are generating this idea and looking forward to find partners here to collaborate. And that's it for now.
Thanks, and really great to see such a large collection of people, both from industry and from all kinds of corporations and stichtingen. So really looking forward how to shape this idea together. I will continue my slides with a very short general introduction, and then Martijntje will take over. So Wageningen Food and Bio-based Research, private contract research organization under the umbrella of Wageningen University and Research, and our main mission is to contribute to a sustainable, healthy and resilient society with circular principles for healthy food and renewable materials. Basically, from the inside to the society, we are organized by these 10 society-oriented research programs. You can see there's a large variety, and these research programs are showing the ways how we would like to valorize materials post-harvest into food, feed, chemicals, energy and pharma. And of course, this project will run on the program Food, Loss and Waste Prevention. Martijntje? Basically, we operate with our collaborators in a number of different ways. Totally on the left are the science grants, and the science grants are hardcore scientific research, really long term, like 4 to 10 years, which is for this idea a little too ambitious. On the other side, we have the bilateral assignments that we are working with, and that is basically one-on-one, and we can do anything we agree together, and we can provide you with all the terms and conditions we agree together. But for this specific idea, we would like to do this under the umbrella of the public-private partnership. And public-private partnership is a nice mixture of private collaboration and public collaboration. And the way this works is we are tendering for a project idea under the umbrella of the TKI topsectoren. And if this project is granted, then we will raise half of the budget by private financing, and we will raise half of the budget by public financing. And this is the actual call we are replying to. Martijntje? Now my colleague Martijntje will take over from the content perspective, and I will return to you in a few slides on some general wording on the way of collaborating within a PPS. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Jeroen, and thank you all for joining this info session about this topic. So I will tell you a bit more about the aim that we have with this ID, and also about the approach that we are following today, or in the project itself. So Jeroen and me are not working on that alone. Our program manager on food loss and waste prevention, Sanne Stroosnijder, is highly involved as well. And in the ID, also our specialists in sustainable food processing, Bert Dijkink and Rianne Timmermans, will be involved there. So yeah, the motivation, well, I hardly have to explain that to the people that are in the meeting, I think, but reducing food loss and waste can be very beneficial for economic reasons, but also regarding climate impacts and other impacts that are associated with that. It is, although very challenging, to make 100% use of all the valuable food resources that we have available. And therefore we think using an integrated approach, taking many aspects into consideration, is very important. So it would be relatively easy to find a destination for your entire volume if you don't want to go to very much high valued applications. So using composting or biogas production, energy recovery, it's very much possible. But of course, that does not really bring a whole lot of value and respect to the materials that we are actually considering here, given that they were produced originally to be food or part of the whole food product. So we are aiming to find insights into higher valued possible applications. Probably that will not be possible for the entire volume, so we will be stuck with the rest of the rest, so to say. And for that, we will have to also look into combinations of valorization options on one hand. On the other hand, you have to also look in this integrated approach. What are the consequences of it? An economic perspective is, of course, very important that we want to explore in this project as well, but also in other impact aspects, such as an environmental impact topics here. So we'll also look into that. There are many aspects to consider in the valorization. I will not talk about them all today. I just wanted to show you that we are aware of the very broad range of aspects that we need to consider to come to valid and sustainable and future-proof solutions for this topic. Well, that brings me actually to what we want to address in this project itself. So we really want to be able to help you in taking decisions regarding this. So in order to do so, we think these three elements are key to address in any cooperation that we would like to do. So first of all, the total use of all the side stream materials. So what are you going to do with any remaining fractions that you might have? Maybe it's still possible to also give that a high valued application, such as towards feed. And you also have to consider the impacts of newly occurring side streams, if they are not suitable for feed anymore, for instance. Also, insight into factors that are mostly affecting the costs of your valorization or upcycling possibilities are very important to know and to be aware of, so you can mitigate those or get more insights into it. And that's both not only relevant for costs, but also on the sustainability side. What factors of your upcycling plan are actually mostly affecting sustainability, and do you know enough about that, or how can you mitigate that, perhaps to lower impacts? Finally, to really realize that, of course, we also need to know properties about end products that we are going to make, and therefore we also foresee that we will look into application tests to support the companies further. So that brings me to the aim of the Food2Food proposal. We offer, or we want to achieve, a a good analysis of any side stream valorization pathways that are possible by designing all these valorization options to validate them through experiments in lab scale, but also to do application and product design tests together with the applied universities in the Netherlands, and also to take the third step, so to do upscaling and pilot scale production within this project itself. So Saskia and Jip of Food Waste Free United are here present, so we'll definitely also incorporate this association into this project itself. But besides that, we will also be cooperating with applied universities, in particular with Van Hal Larenstein and the Hanse Hogeschool. We will address this this project in a 3-stage approach. First of all, we will start with this valorization options. So there we will combine side streams and its properties, its occurrence, etc., with envisioned end products and possible use cases that could come from partners that are willing to use this kind of materials, and combine that with mild technologies to come to optimal valorization pathways. We will use a software tool for that. It's called the process estimator that we have developed internally in a European project, but that we can also use in other projects. In that tool, we'll look to the economic feasibility. We will keep track of the properties of the material, so including nutritional aspects and other quality aspects. And we are taking this 100% use of the raw material, so this total use perspective, into account by also looking into newly occurring side streams, for instance. In the second step, we will move to validations of these valorization options. So probably we'll have to do, oh, I'm very sorry, there's a picture missing here. Well, we will make sure that it's added to the version that we will be sharing with you. I'm sorry about this. We will do some lab scale research probably, but we will also move to this application and product design projects together with the applied universities. As a final stage within the project, we will look into possibilities for upscaling to pilot scale, to do the validation and evaluation of the concepts, and possibly also to produce enough material to do further testing. Of course, in this stage, we will run into some technical challenges, and we will face that whenever they are occurring. So we believe that this 3-stage approach will help to really design and validate and come towards applications of the side stream materials that are now discarded or are getting a very low valued application. So with this project, we invite you to collaborate on this topic and to have discussions with us in the coming period to further scope towards the project plan. Back to you, Jeroen.
Thanks, and great to see that previously developed methodology can have a very much broader use in kickstarting new innovation towards increased sustainability and circularity. Great to see. Public-private partnership, what does it mean? As this initiative is co-funded by the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs, we have to comply to state aid legislation, and this means that we cannot directly support companies on a one-to-one basis. That's why we have a consortium, and that's why we would like to focus on pre-competitive technology and know-how, doing the vast majority of the research together and providing you with a toolbox how to implement solutions in your own company-specific environment. That's the first one. The second one, this is a cross-value chain collaboration. TKI is looking for impact, and impact can be made by combining actors all across the value chain, so cross-value chain collaborations. And as I mentioned, we would like to translate fundamental insights into applied understanding. Within the specific context of this project, we are therefore looking for producers of side streams, for ingredient producers interested in new sources and new, more sustainable sources, both from the food and non-food domain, and we're also looking for our technology providers who can help us upcycle low-value ingredients into added value ingredients for application in food. Thank you. Some highlights about the project. The TKI subsidizes 50% of the project budget, which is very attractive from a financial part. The remainder comes from the industry, both in cash and in kind contribution. Looking at this initiative, we foresee a 3-year project, and we kindly request all industrial partners that are willing to participate to contribute 12,500 euros per year in cash and an equal amount in kind. And in kind, for those who don't know, in kind are activities you perform on behalf of the project and for the project, but not directly as an in-cash contribution. So this can be supply of materials, activities you are performing for the project, valorization trials you are doing together with the consortium, all kinds of things. When you are joining this project, you will be given the opportunity to co-develop detailed project content together with us to ensure that it's fitting your company's specific wants and needs. Additionally, you will be given a position in the project steering board, and the project steering board is gathering 2 times per year and is supervising the project execution. And finally, all partners will receive an immediate right to apply non-protectable foreground in their field of use for free. And additionally, when we are generating protected IP, you will be given a first right of refusal to license this IP in your specific domain. As a next step, as Martijntje already mentioned, this presentation or this info session will be recorded. We will share it directly after this meeting or before the weekend. You will also receive an inquiry form. With this inquiry form, we would like to capture your interest, but we'd also like to have your positive critical feedback on what changes or what additions to the project proposal can make it more compelling to your specific company. This is just our idea, and the success of this project is depending on the success of its partners. So please help us out. What could make this project more compelling to you? And lastly, it would be great if you can return this inquiry form before the 3rd of July. So some timelines. The phase we are in now is recruiting partners by means of this info session, and we have also scheduled some bilateral meetings with partners or potential partners who cannot be present today. By the 3rd of July, we would like to have a head count of people that are interested in this idea. And interested means not a really hard commitment, but you are motivated to move forward with us, to shape the content together, and you are willing to participate in a final project. We will use the months of July and August for further defining the project content with you together. And at the 2nd of September, we would like to submit a full project proposal and a project budget within an efficient consortium to the TKI agency. Within 2 months, we will receive the grant notification, or maybe the project is rejected, but we are not departing from that point. And then after that grant notification, together we will start the contracting process. And by the end of Q1 2025, if we have agreed on a formal consortium agreement, we are ready to kick off the project. So the ultimate project will only start in April 2025. This might be of interest because some people think, okay, very interesting project, but we don't have the capacity to start directly after the summer. No need to worry, because the project will only start in April 2025. And now I would like to hand over the floor to Martijntje for the second time and see if there are any questions. Please raise your hand and you will be given a turn to speak out.
Yeah, thanks, Jeroen. And I'll also stop sharing the screen so that we can actually see each other a bit better.
Please raise your hand if you have any questions. More than willing to help you out and to discuss it together. Dave?
Yes, yeah, thank you very much for the explanation. Sounds like a really interesting project. I was wondering, I guess, especially looking at the side streams, I think that would really depend on the type of partners that will join, or are you also looking at different kind of side streams?
Yeah, it's a good question. The first focus will definitely be the side streams from partners that are having side streams. Yes, so that's definitely an important part of the scope of the project. On the other hand, towards applications, I think it's definitely of interest to know from companies what kind of applications are they looking for, what kind of functionalities or ingredients would actually be of interest for them to replace. So we will address this from both sides, both, let's say, the need to valorize certain materials on one hand, and on the other hand, also to look at what's needed from the application side.
Thank you.
Maria?
Hi. So thank you as well for the explanation. I was wondering also about the side streams. Is there a sort of a definition for it, and a set of criteria maybe for, you know, what should be a side stream that would be able to you know, fit the criteria of the project? That's one of the questions on the side streams, and then about the financing as well. The 12.5 K, is that so per industry partner per year, regardless if the partnership has 2 or 3 or 4 industry partners, so each partner has to put in that amount of financing? So those questions.
Thanks for your questions. I will answer from the type of side streams that you were looking into. Given the interest that we have received so far for this idea, at the moment, it's most likely that we will mainly focus on plant-based side streams. So regarding further scoping of the material, we will have to do that together. But I envision that they will be mostly originating from the early part of the chain, the food chain. So let's say from primary production or first processing in industry. That would be my expected scope at the moment. Yeah, regarding the financing, Jeroen, you want to address this question or?
Yeah, regarding the financing, I get your point there, and I'm helping out with multiple PPS projects. And from the helicopter, what you see is that some projects, they have a really well-defined scope, and people are collaborating on that together. And we can, at the very start of a project or even before, we can draft what we would like to do, what kind of activities need to be done, and what kind of budget and financing we need to realize it. I think this is a slightly different project because what we would like to do is depending on what partners and what interest they have to join the consortium. So basically, the interest of partners under this umbrella is stacking up, and that's why we chose to define a system with a ticket. You can have a slot in this project, but then we kindly request you to raise 12,500 euro per year in cash and 12,500 euro per year in kind. And if there are other companies with other questions, we will request the same input for them. One side remark, you were questioning the definition about side streams, and Martijntje answered it from her perspective. I can also give you a broader definition of side streams. Especially for this project, I would like to define side streams as material streams that are currently underutilized and have the potential to be upgraded for use in food applications.
Thanks, Jeroen, for the addition. I would agree with that. Yeah.
But great question, Maria. Thanks. Patrick?
Yes, I've got a question. And I think in the last 10, 15 years, I was involved in, well, several large PPS projects and also Interact projects, etc., etc. All regarding to this same topic and this same knowledge, etc., etc. And all those projects were very good defined, were very well knowledge bringing, etc., etc. And my first impression to what I see now is, and I'm saying that in all respect, what's really new about this project, because what we see in the agricultural sector and in the food waste valorization is that yes, everywhere some great huge knowledge is developed, and we are all developing new technologies, new upstream technologies, etc., etc. But the really the real how can I say that, adoption of the technologies in, well, in like getting up to from pilot to full scale installations and chains, etc. In my opinion, developments lag that. So my question is, how are we going to manage now in this project, not only to create the knowledge, but also the, well, the picking up of the knowledge by companies to putting up the knowledge from pilot scale to full scale to real make impact? That's my question. And one thing I saw at your sheets was already a bit different, I think, from some years ago, that now participants really do have possibilities in getting IPs of this knowledge. But my question is still there. What's new about this project, and how are we now going to manage that the knowledge of this project will finally lead to real impact? I hope that's a bit clear, my question.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick, for your remark and your question. I think it's very relevant to be aware of this, right? Yeah, what's really new? Well, the reason that this topic is still of interest and maybe on the agendas already for quite some time also has a reason, right? I mean, uptake and really realization this is not so very easy. So it's definitely still within scope to be working on this, and maybe even so in some ways that, you know, are still the same as a couple of years ago, because you still need to take all the steps that we are talking about, and that needs to be done. I would like to highlight 3 aspects that hopefully will enable the cooperation, the companies here, parties that are interested to bring this further. I think this total use view is very important. So not only look at a potential of a certain component or well, for instance, only the protein fraction or what, but look at the entirety of the material and take that into account. In the second point is both in the costs and in the sustainability impact, because only saying that it's beneficial in a sustainable perspective is not enough. You have to validate that and to support that with knowledge and numbers, figures, and so on. And also to be critical on that. Is that really the best choice that I can make with my side stream material? On the other hand, very nice that this research is existing and lots of research is being done on potential of side streams, but you also have to really look into, does it do what we want to achieve? Does it really have this high valued use in the actual food product as a third component that we really want to integrate in this project? It is might be slightly different from a usual PPP research approach. But this is also a kind of project that the TKI are supporting. As Jeroen said, we already have a running consortium on this topic in which we are bringing all these elements together. And within that consortium, also the knowledge exchange between the partners is very important. Although you might have different materials, you might have different end products, you can still learn a lot in cooperation and exchange on this. We also see that happening. So, but and finally, the last point is that we are aiming to indeed also move to this step of valorization. So to do trials at pilot scale that will enable you to have enough material to do some further product development and so on. So and we are also realizing that in the current cooperation already. So I believe that these elements will enable us to bring this topic further and closer to realization.
Yeah, thanks. Great, Matthijs, great answer. And also, what I would like to highlight that we have a in-house developed methodology that we can directly apply in this project. So that will kickstart the innovation. But you're very right that upcycling is value creation, so the technical part, but we also need to have a very keen eye for those who would like to appreciate the value. So that's why it's great that in this meeting we have suppliers of side stream, but we also have ingredient manufacturers that are willing to use these components. And I think creating a well thought value chain with value creation and value appreciation is of key importance. And also my compliment for noting that that the terms and conditions have changed. We are more liberal and it's better to work with us now than ever. Thanks. Annelien?
Yes, I have a question about the first aim or the first work package. How do you know which steps need to be taken? Do you base yourself on literature? Do you use a specific tool? I don't know, how is the process set up for the valorization?
Right. Yeah. Thanks for your question. So, assuming you are speaking from the perspective of you have a certain side stream and then you know how to come to valorization options. Well, being a research institute, we definitely have scientific literature in our scope. That's for sure. But in our group of food technology, we also have experts on food technology processing, of course, itself. So we have integrated lots of our knowledge into the Procestimator. It's a software tool that we use to design processing pathways. And in this project, we are specifically using it to design these valorization pathways. So we start from the material that includes material composition. It includes availability and time. For instance, it includes the status of the material. So let's say microbial status or water content. Well, lots of different aspects. And from that material, we are building up the next process steps that you have to take in order to come to a certain type of end product. And depending on your end product, or whether or not you want to go to a dry powder or a different type of material, it can still be chilled or frozen or so. Lots of different choices to make there. So we basically built up this whole process design. And the tool allows us to keep track of the financial aspects. So investments, but also use of equipment, cost of equipment, labor, and so on. So, and this process pathway then leads to insight in production costs that you would need. It also gives us the most important factors because there are lots of aspects that you can vary, of course, in your process design, but the tool allows us to see which variations are affecting the costs the most. And this process pathway is then also converted to environmental impact in the terms of CO2 equivalents. And there you have the similar information. So for each process step, you have this information and you can see which factors are mostly affecting this impact. We also take into account what you are doing with newly occurring side streams. So maybe they can are they still suitable for feed, for instance? And we calculate what could then be the feed price. But if not, if you're moving that towards digestion or composting, we also take the costs and the impact into account. So this tool allows us to hopefully rather thoroughly analyze these valorization options.
What this means
okay.
what this means for the partners is we don't start by actual experimental work, which obviously costs a lot of time, but we'll only start with experimental work once we have found that analysis of a possible value chain actually results in added value, both economic and sustainability. So it's allowing us to do the experimental work that we will do in the most optimal form.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Koos?
You're muted, Koos.
Yeah, sorry, I got it. Thank you. Can you guarantee that every case which is brought in by the companies will indeed be covered by this consortium?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think we have several options there. We could put them in a hat and pick a few out. No, but no, to be serious, no, the intention is to be of benefit for each partner that will participate, of course. So we'll are definitely aiming to use look at into each use case that partners will bring in. To guarantee it would be to put it a bit strongly, but of course each partner should have a similar position in the project. That's also what we are aiming for. So yes, that is definitely the goal.
Okay.
And how it turns out from a practical perspective, all partners that are willing to join will be given the right to co-develop the project content. So you are actually there shaping with us the proposal. And if you don't feel it is of added value because your specific wants and needs are not heard, then the most simple way would be not to join the consortium. So in practicality, it is a yes.
Thank you.
Karel?
Yes, thank you. I'm a little bit triggered about this app or tool you're talking about, referring to. Is it possible that we have a more insight on this tool and the possibilities of it? It was described very nicely by Martijntje, and that triggers a lot of questions in my mind, and that could be helpful of deciding if you would join this project, whether or not. Is it possible to have more insight on this tool? That's my question. Thank you.
Yeah, Karel, thanks for the question. That is definitely possible. Actually, it holds for all of you, right? If you want to know more, we can have a follow-up meeting. We will send out the inquiry form, but next to that, we can also, of course, have further talks with you about the project content. And Karel, I would be happy to show you more from the process estimator and including some examples, etc.
Martijntje, I think it also would be an idea to share the open info on the process estimator that we already have. Would it be an idea to share that with the recordings and the inquiry?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We can look into it if we have something suitable. Yeah.
Okay. Great question, Karel. Thanks. Any other questions or maybe remarks, things you would like to share?
Yeah, maybe one thing that I didn't hear in your presentation, Martijntje, that there was also a possibility of internships from the schools that are partners.
Yes, Saskia, that's indeed the case. So we will partner up with several applied universities in the Netherlands, specifically towards application and product development. That can be done in different forms. Given that the project will also run for a couple of years, we can have different forms of that as well. And one of the possible forms would also to have an internship student at your own facility there to really work closely with within the company itself. That's definitely a possibility.
But always in discussion with the company partner. Any other questions, remarks? Okay, so I will take that as a no. Thanks again for showing up in such a large number. Really appreciating it. As already mentioned, we will share the slides, we will share the recordings, and we will share the inquiry together with info on the process estimator before this weekend, and we're looking forward to receive your feedback. Please note that this is our idea. We would like to have your comments on how to make it more interesting for you, and please do not hesitate to contact me or Martijntje directly if you feel the need to discuss anything in private. Thanks. Looking forward
Thanks.
to meeting you soon, and enjoy the nice weather.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ik kan alvast de recording op stop zetten.